They made the world laugh until tragedy silenced the punchline. Behind every joke, every standing ovation was a performer who lived on the edge of chaos. One collapsed backstage moments after his set, another met a fate so strange people thought it was part of the act, and one more, gone in a way no one could ever explain. Brace yourself for comedians who died in bizarre ways. Phil Hartman was the kind of performer who could do it all: write, act, voice, and charm an audience without ever breaking a sweat. His fingerprints are everywhere in comedy history. Co-writing Pee-wee's Big Adventure, stealing sketches on Saturday Night Live, and giving life to unforgettable Simpsons characters like Troy McClure and Lionel Hutz. By the mid-1990s, he'd perfected his on-screen persona, the confident, slightly sleazy everyman who was somehow still impossible not to love. But behind the perfect timing and calm presence was a life unraveling at home. His marriage to Bryn Omdahl was strained by her professional jealousy, substance abuse, and growing emotional distance. Friends described Hartman as patient and private, maybe too private for the chaos that was brewing. The tragedy unfolded on the night of May 27, 1998. Bryn had dinner with a friend, but upon returning home, she and Phil had a heated argument. He threatened to leave her if she started using drugs again, then went to bed. A while later, under the influence of cocaine and alcohol, Bryn entered their bedroom and shot Phil Hartman as he slept. She drove to a friend's house and confessed, but the friend initially didn't believe her. After they returned to the Hartman home and discovered the scene, the friend called 911. As police were arriving and evacuating the couple's children, Bryn locked herself in the bedroom and took her own life. Phil Hartman was 49. Trevor Moore had the kind of comedic mind that thrived on chaos, sharp, fearless, and always a step ahead of the joke. As a founding member of the Whitest Kids You Know, he helped define a generation of sketch comedy that thrived on absurdity and edge. From awkward social parodies to jaw-dropping dark humor, Moore and his crew built a cult following that stayed loyal long after the show ended in 2011. But Trevor's creativity never slowed down. He released 3 satirical albums: Drunk Text to Myself, High in Church, and The Story of Our Times, each a blend of biting commentary and unfiltered wit. He also wrote, directed, and hosted The Trevor Moore Show, proving that his mind was just as restless as his humor. Then, in August 2021, the comedy world was blindsided. Moore died at just 41 after a fall from a balcony at his Los Angeles home. Authorities ruled it an accident, with alcohol listed as a contributing factor. It was a surreal, heartbreaking end for someone who spent his life turning life's absurdities into laughter. In 2024, his friends completed Mars, the animated film he helped start. One last punchline from a comedian who never ran out of ideas. John Ritter had a rare gift, the ability to make people laugh with nothing more than a stumble, a grin, or a perfectly timed pause. His breakout as Jack Tripper on Three's Company in 1977 made him one of television's most beloved faces. Ritter's mix of charm, warmth, and physical comedy turned simple misunderstandings into comic gold. After the show ended in 1984, he continued to light up screens in both film and television, proving his versatility as an actor. By 2002, Ritter was back where he belonged, in front of a live audience, starring in 8 Simple Rules as a loving but overprotective dad. Then, during a filming session on September 11, 2003, something went terribly wrong. Ritter began experiencing severe nausea and chest pain and was rushed to the hospital, where doctors treated him for a heart attack. But it wasn't a heart attack. It was an aortic dissection, a rare and deadly tear in the main artery. Within hours, he was gone. He was just 54. His wife, Amy Yazbek, later founded the John Ritter Foundation to raise awareness about the condition, turning a devastating loss into a mission to save lives. Kenneth Horn had one of those voices that felt like an old friend, smooth, clever, and effortlessly funny. Long before television ruled entertainment, he was the king of British radio, captivating millions with shows like Beyond Our Ken and Round the Horn. His wit was quick but never cruel, his timing flawless. Week after week, listeners tuned in just to hear that warm, measured delivery that made every absurd situation sound delightfully proper. But while his voice projected confidence and calm, his health was quietly faltering. A stroke in 1958 nearly ended his career, and years later, a massive heart attack in 1966 forced him to take time away from broadcasting. True to form, Horn bounced back, returning to the airwaves in early 1967, determined to keep his audience laughing. On Valentine's Day 1969, he was hosting a prestigious television awards dinner, smiling, polished, in his element. Then, mid-sentence, he staggered and fell to the floor. The audience gasped, unsure if it was a bit of his dry humor. It wasn't. Kenneth Horn had suffered a fatal heart attack right there on stage. Even in death, the broadcaster's final act was live. Tommy Cooper was the kind of comedian who could make failure look like art. With his signature red fez, clumsy magic tricks, and booming laugh, he turned mishaps into masterpieces. Born in Wales and raised in England, Cooper's brand of slapstick humor made him a household name from the 1950s through the 80s. His shows, including Cooper and the Tommy Cooper Hour, drew millions who adored the lovable fool who could never quite pull off his tricks. Behind that charm, though, was a man battling heavy drinking, poor health, and the weight of his own fame. In 1977, he survived a heart attack, but the warning signs didn't slow him down. Then came April 15th, 1984. A live television broadcast from Her Majesty's Theatre in London mid-performance, Cooper suddenly collapsed on stage. The audience roared with laughter, thinking it was part of the act. It wasn't. He was suffering a fatal heart attack, broadcast to millions in real time. Crew members rushed to pull the curtain as paramedics tried to save him, but it was too late. Tony Knight wasn't just a comedian. He was a storyteller who spoke the language of laughter and loyalty. Known worldwide as the dog listener, he blended humor with heart, teaching people how to truly understand their dogs. His live show Mad Dogs and an Englishman became a hit at festivals from the UK to Australia, including a standout performance at the Melbourne International Comedy Festival in April 2024. But just weeks later, tragedy struck in a way no one could have imagined. At the Rock and Cars Festival in southern France, a large tree branch suddenly broke and fell without warning on a clear, calm day. Tony Knight was among those struck. He was 54. The randomness of it left fans and loved ones stunned. A GoFundMe set up by his partner's family shared just how much he meant to those who knew him. A man whose life revolved around laughter, compassion, and a deep love for animals. Tony had plans to tour again across the UK and Europe, helping more people connect with their pets. Instead, the world lost a voice that reminded us, joy and kindness are the best tricks of all. Joan Rivers didn't just tell jokes, she bulldozed barriers. With a voice that could slice through silence and a wit that spared no one, she redefined what it meant to be a woman in comedy. From her first breakout moment on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson in 1965, Rivers became a household name, known for her fearless humor, her red carpet roasts, and her refusal to play by anyone else's rules. Whether she was on The Ed Sullivan Show, Fashion Police, or center stage with a mic in hand, Joan never missed a beat or a punchline. That's why her death stunned the world. In August 2014, she went in for what should have been a routine procedure on her vocal cords at a Manhattan clinic. But mid-operation, Rivers stopped breathing. She was resuscitated but suffered severe brain damage and never regained consciousness. On September 4th, she passed away at 81. It was an almost cruel twist for a woman who had spent her life using her voice to command rooms and challenge limits. Joan Rivers left the stage the way she lived on it, unfiltered, unforgettable, and still making headlines long after the laughter stopped. Kevin Barnett was a rising star with a knack for finding humor in life's weirdest corners. Sharp, relatable, and endlessly creative, he made his mark writing for hit shows like Broad City, Guy Code, and The Eric Andre Show, while also co-creating the Fox sitcom Rel. His comedy was effortless, the kind that made you feel like you were laughing with an old friend rather than at a joke. By his early 30s, Barnett was exactly where so many comics dream of being: busy, respected, and just getting started. Then in January 2019, that momentum came to a heartbreaking halt. While vacationing in Tijuana, Mexico, the 32-year-old comedian suddenly fell ill. He died from internal bleeding caused by pancreatitis, a condition few even knew he had. News of his passing stunned friends and fans alike. Tributes poured in from across the comedy world, with Comedy Central calling him an incredible comedian and writer, greatly missed. For those who knew him, Kevin Barnett's legacy wasn't just in the shows he helped build, it was in his warmth, generosity, and ability to make life's strangest moments feel just a little bit lighter. Andy Kaufman wasn't just a comedian. He was a provocateur who turned confusion into an art form. In the 1970s, when punchlines ruled the stage, Kaufman rewrote the script completely. He could lip-sync to a record 1 minute, wrestle women the next, and somehow make it all mesmerizing. His offbeat performances on Saturday Night Live and his unforgettable role as Latka Gravis on Taxi made him one of comedy's most unpredictable minds. Audiences never knew if they were in on the joke or the joke itself. But the man behind the madness lived a quieter, more disciplined life than many realized. He didn't drink, didn't smoke, and took care of himself. That's what made his diagnosis in January 1984 so shocking, a rare form of lung cancer in someone who'd never even touched a cigarette. Fans refused to believe it. Some even thought it was another elaborate prank, one last performance from a man who blurred the line between real and absurd. It wasn't. On May 16, 1984, Andy Kaufman died at just 35 years old. To this day, some still question if he truly did. Proof that even in death, Kaufman's greatest trick might have been keeping us guessing. Kenny DeForest was one of those comedians who made storytelling look effortless. His sets flowed like conversations, honest, funny, and full of heart. After years of working his way through New York's stand-up circuit, he began earning national attention, performing on Late Night with Seth Meyers in 2017, and The Late Late Show with James Corden in 2019. In 2023, he released his first stand-up special, Don't You Know Who I Am?, a title that captured his signature mix of confidence and self-deprecating charm. To fans and fellow comics, it felt like he was just getting started. Then tragedy struck in December 2023. While riding his e-bike through Brooklyn, DeForest crashed and sustained severe head injuries. He underwent neurological surgery, but despite doctors' efforts, he passed away 5 days later at only 37. Those close to him shared that his final moments were peaceful, surrounded by loved ones, music, and memories of laughter. The comedy world lost not just a gifted performer, but a rare spirit who radiated kindness and positivity. Kenny DeForest's voice may have gone silent too soon, but his stories and the joy he spread still echo across every stage he touched. They made us laugh until it hurt, but behind the laughter, their endings were anything but funny. Each loss reminds us how fragile life can be, even for those who seem untouchable on stage. Which of these stories shocked you the most? And do you think the pressure to always be on takes a toll that few ever see? If you want to remember these legends and the laughter they left behind, hit like, share your thoughts below, and subscribe for more stories that reveal the truth behind the spotlight. Thank you for watching.